The biggest lesson I learned from my relationships in the past is when someone tells you you make them happy, you're the one, and all these like nice things that people would love to hear in a relationship. After a few months of knowing them, that to me is a red flag, because when you get to know someone, obviously you don't know everything about them. You don't know about their fears, you don't know about their attitude, their behavior, everything. Like all these little things that you need to learn about your significant other. Those things don't happen right away. Especially if you're someone like me with an anxious attachment style, do yourself a favor and get out of that relationship as fast as you can, because obviously this person doesn't really know what they want. They're not 100% sure. They're just giving you that validation that a lot of people like to get or hear. And once they stop giving that validation, guess what? You're going to be anxious all the time. You're going to be like, what the hell happened? And that to me is the worst feeling in any relationship, where you're like constantly worried about why your partner is acting different and why they're not how they used to be. And that's a sign for you to get out. And again, don't be like me. Don't give them second chances. Don't give them multiple chances. If you feel like they're not how they used to be, that is your sign to just leave and go find someone or be with someone who doesn't make you feel that way. 5 common mistakes most guys will make in a new relationship or when they're interested in someone. So keep listening. Number one is when they try to do it too soon, or they go for a kiss, or they get really touchy when it's barely been even one date. So number two, they invite you over on the first date or on the second date, which is too soon in my opinion, because you barely know each other. So why not go out for drinks or food or a walk rather than inviting them over to your place for drinks? Number three, they act very interested. If you act interested in the beginning, then suddenly you start ghosting, that's just a bad sign. So why not just be the same from the beginning and just continue being the same person throughout the relationship, instead of being interested in the beginning and then losing that interest? So don't be overly into someone and then suddenly change. Right, I like this one because this happened to me so many times. So number four is bringing in controversial topics into the conversation. It's like, we all get it, like you have different opinions, it's fine. So why not just keep them to yourself? Last but not least, not telling you what their expectations are from the get-go, and then later on telling you all these things, then you're like, okay, so why didn't we talk about this in the beginning and now you're bringing it up? So tell them what you're looking for. Don't wait until it's too late, or don't wait until she's upset that you didn't talk about what you guys are or what it is that you're looking for in the relationship. So let them know right away. You don't have to be serious. You don't have to make it like you want to marry them. Just be honest. So to all those guys who commented on my video about size, saying that I'm experienced and that they want me to show them how to use it, let me tell you how. All right, number one, you can ask your mom. Number two, ask your sister. Number three, if you don't have a mom or a sister, which explains the reason why you're like that, then I suggest getting your laptop and learning yourself. You don't need me to tell you. Number four, if you can't afford a laptop, then I hope you have a phone. So this is how you're watching me right now, right? Number five, you can always ask your friends who are more experienced and successful in dating, and they can tell you. I'm sure they'll help you. All right, bye. So if you haven't seen part one, go and watch it. It's about my makeout sessions in the car. And this is from a girl's point of view on how a lot of women feel about guys wanting to make out with them. So keep watching. If you want to make out with a girl, just be mindful. You're not supposed to put your hands on her hips or anywhere else. She may not feel comfortable at first. Like, that's something that you work your way up to. So start easy, take it slow. You don't want to be, super aggressive. Another thing we don't appreciate is making out with your eyes open. That's super creepy, okay? I remember making out with this guy and his eyes were open, and honestly, I had nightmares that night. What I also find more romantic is when you just go for it instead of saying, like, let's move to the back seat. Let's make out outside. Like, we don't need to prepare for it. If you really want to go for it, then go for it. Also, please don't bite. Thank you. You want your DM to stand out when you slide into her DM? This is what you should do. Trust me, it works. So girls are flooded with DMs every day. If not every day, if you go through their DMs, there's a lot of them. And obviously, we're not just going to answer every single one of them. It would have to stand out. So if you want yours to stand out, then this is what you should do. Avoid saying things like, hey, hi, beautiful, how's it going? What's up? Where are you from? Just very general questions. Avoid asking those. Obviously, we get a lot of those, so we're not going to go through every single one of those and answer as if it's an interview. What you want to say, and trust me, it's going to work, is this phrase. Hey, I know you get a lot of DMs, but I hope this one stands out. I noticed that you, and then you can fill in the blank with something that you notice about them on their profile, whether it's traveling, it's food, it's their hobby, or anything. Like you want to find that one thing that they are passionate about or they like. Or you can even ask them a simple question. Hey, like, do you like pizza? I know it's random, but honestly, if someone asked me that, I would totally answer because I'm such a foodie. If you go on my Instagram, you'll see all the food videos that I post. So for me, it would have to be food, like something that has to do with food. Like, hey, do you like cooking? Have you tried this recipe? Obviously, if I see a DM like that, I'm going to answer. So what you don't want to do is very general things like, how's it going? Where you from? You're pretty. Like, we could care less. So if you're like me, you don't go out, you're a hermit, and you hate dating apps because you don't think they're right for you, then you should watch this video. The only other way to meet someone is if you go out. And by going out, I don't mean going to clubs, because I don't think by going to clubs you will meet anyone. Maybe not for a long term. So let's say you're at a coffee shop and you spot this beautiful woman sitting down doing her thing, and you really want to tell her that you think she's beautiful, but you're nervous, you don't want to get rejected, and you can't work up the nerve to tell her how you really feel. So, as a woman, I would like to let you guys know that it's completely okay to tell a woman how beautiful they are or give them a compliment. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And honestly, you have nothing to lose. If someone reacts, then that's their own problem. Maybe they're just not used to getting compliments, or maybe they do have a boyfriend and they're being honest by telling you they're taken. So next time you see a woman and you're like, oh my God, like, I really want to get to know her. I think she's gorgeous. You're going to walk up to her and you're going to tell her that. Obviously, you don't need to come off strong and tell her you want to date her. Just tell her you think she's beautiful, and if she reacts, then that's her own problem. Honestly, at this point, I think this is the only way I would ever meet anyone because I don't go out. I'm not on any dating apps, and I honestly think they're really dumb. They're not for me. They're very shallow, and I'd rather meet someone outside in the real world. So just go out there and don't look for women at coffee shops. But if you happen to see one and you think she's beautiful, let her know how you feel, and you don't have to be creepy about it because no one likes creeps. You don't like creeps, right? Just be yourself, just be honest, and don't be nervous. Like I said, you have nothing to lose. You might actually end up dating her. I met someone at a coffee shop like 7 years ago, and we ended up dating for like a year. All right, I'll see you guys next time. I decided to do an ASMR for this. I just thought it would be really cool to do ASMR and see if people like it. Like, what's wrong with my hair? So, I met my boyfriend of 2 years on Tinder when I was 22. And yeah, that's when I started dating. I thought it was great and we had a good relationship, but he ended up breaking up. So, dating apps aren't actually that bad. The biggest problem I have with dating apps is that you have a great conversation in the beginning and eventually it just dies. I don't know if you guys agree. I'd rather meet someone in person. Like, it's so much better when you meet someone in person. It's so different and there are no surprises. Also, people on dating apps always pick like great pictures of themselves. So what you see on a dating app isn't what you end up seeing in person. So people look different. A lot of people look different in person. So obviously, if I'm going on a dating app, I'm not gonna pick some like, medium, average pics. So for that reason, people develop All right, this is a question for all men. Why do you guys always say you don't have a type, but then when you describe your exes or when we see your exes, there just seems to be a pattern. Like, I feel like everyone has a type, so for all the guys out there, why is it that you say you don't have a type? And let's say if you don't really have a type, what are the top three things that you look for in a woman? Like, what are the three things that you really care about? And it is a deal breaker if you don't see those things in a girl.